Some of the most intriguing and credible recordings are those captured by police car cameras, where we have almost 100% certainty that there were no jokes involved. During a car chase in Manchester, 2 police officers experienced an event that is hard to explain.
The runaway carves across the carriageway
Stand by, it's going off.
and calls it a day.
Don't get out, get out. You running?
You're nicked. Or you should be.
Where is he?
There's no one outside, no one behind the wheel, and the van is locked.
Where's he gone?
It's magic.
He's in the back. He's in the bank. He stopped to think he's hiding in the back. There's no one in the driver or passenger seat, and no one's decamped that we can see. We need to get in, mate. Yeah, mate, I'm going to smash window in a sec.
The best knock-knock jokes have smashing punchlines. But the joke's on Dan and Rob.
No. Eh? No. No one jumped out?
It's a classic locked van mystery.
Weird.
There's just one explanation.
Must have decamped.
As you can see, the car being chased eventually pulls over to the side, and the police immediately park next to it, get out, and head towards the driver. But to their great surprise, there's no one inside the vehicle or outside, and the car itself is locked. So, what happened to the stranger? The only rational explanation is that the driver jumped out while driving and quickly fled into the woods. Throughout the whole recording, we don't see such a situation. So, was it just a clever escape by the driver who deceived not only the police but also us? Or was it something paranormal? You are the judges. You decide.
Where's he gone?
The next recording is from someone who most of you probably know well. Omar from the channel Omar Gosh TV is in Missouri at Pythian Castle. Completed in 1913, this 40,000 square foot castle was built for the Knights of Pythias, a formerly all-white fraternal organization formed in 1864. Located about 150 miles outside of Kansas City, Missouri, in the town of Springfield, the castle was originally built to house the widows and orphans of Knights members who had died, as well as elderly members themselves. Despite the Knights of Pythias shuttering the original services they provided in the castle after only 26 years, it seems the voices of the children who once lived there, along with the people who cared for them, continue to be heard throughout the property. This is the place Omar chose for himself while shooting the first season of Paranormal Edition, where he and 16 other YouTubers are sent alone to various haunted locations. While other ghost hunters face various unexplained phenomena, Omar conducts his investigation. At one point, he decides to try to communicate with the spirit in a somewhat unconventional way, attempting the Ghost Paper Challenge.
I wanted to do something non-traditional though. I wanted to do a non-traditional way of spirit communication.
All right, I was able to find some paper and a couple pens downstairs. Look how cool these are. I just heard a freaking growl on the other side of this door. Unless it's an animal, maybe a raccoon or something. I don't know anything that growls like that. Okay, maybe this is not the best idea. I'm gonna do it anyways.
When Omar is about to perform the task, we can hear an unexplained growl, as well as a few seconds later, sounds of conversation. Without paying too much attention to the sounds, he continues the challenge. In short, Omar must place a piece of paper near closed doors and slide them under the door. Then, all that's left is to wait for a response. Omar performs all the described actions, so we just have to wait for a response from the spirit.
I'm gonna do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game is over. 0. Okay. Didn't get a response. But there's other noises happening all around me right now.
When Omar counts down to finish the challenge, he hears inexplicable sounds in his ear. Without paying much attention, he goes to the tunnel where you can encounter a subject called Mr. Boots, who, after you close your eyes, appears in the darkness.
Okay, Mr. Boots, I'm gonna close my eyes, and if you wanna appear in the darkness, do so. You can smile, you can do whatever you want, but do not appear yourself to me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you see anything behind me. What about over here? Oh my gosh, I thought I saw a man standing behind me. Oh, hell no. Oh gosh. Dude, there's something down there. There is something definitely down there. Oh. Yo, I got goosebumps so bad. Oh, wow. I don't know if I want to be here anymore. That whole ghost paper challenge thing, that just went out the window. Oh, no. Oh, no. My light just died. My freaking light just died. Good thing I brought another one.
When Omar closes his eyes, behind him, we can see a dark silhouette emerging from the wall, which, after Omar opens his eyes, quickly disappears into the darkness. He immediately leaves the tunnel. As he stands at its entrance, unexpectedly, his flashlight dies. Did the spirit that appeared behind him drain the energy from his flashlight? Well, the final decision is yours. Perhaps not as numerous, but the team consisting of Shiro, Torihada, and Ukshan decided to join forces like Omar and go to a ruined hotel that is also connected to a hospital, around which building circulate many mysterious stories. On the 3rd floor, where the operating table is located, a figure of a woman who committed suicide there is often seen. On the 7th floor, unexplained phenomena were often experienced, resulting in a quick evacuation of the building. The team from the Torihada channel has already visited this place once, and the team concluded that it was the most terrifying experience of all haunted places so far. This time, a 3-person team led by Shiro enters the building. They immediately go to the 3rd floor where the infamous operating table is located. They decide that Ukshan will lie on it and be completely alone with his eyes covered, while Shiro and Torihada will explore the building from the 1st floor up. Shortly after, Shiro and Torihada find themselves on the 1st floor, and the camera they left with Ukshan records something terrifying.
薄く反応しますね。ちょっと待って。後ろ。今ガタンって言いましたよ。確かにかすかにガタンってなって。でもいないですよね。ちょっと見に行きません？僕結構はっきり聞こえたんで、なんかガタンっていう音ですね。何かが落ちるような。待って、普通になんか言ってる。 草も。いや、先言いました。うちゃん、大丈夫ですか？どうした？いや、音が怖い。物音。また鳴りました？でも、一番聞こえてないんですよ。マジですか？その叫んだ時には聞こえてないですよね、多分。近くまでおったけど、聞こえんかったで。マジで？どんな音？なんか、歩くような感じ。歩く音？近くで？いや、歩く音はなくて。
Shiro and Torihada hear Ukshan, who is clearly scared by something. They immediately go to the third floor and have a conversation with him. It turns out that he was very alarmed by clearly audible footsteps of someone moving right behind him. The static camera confirms this, but not only that. After enhancing the recording, we can see someone in the mirror's reflection standing right behind the operating table. Suddenly, the apparition disappears and we only hear footsteps moving away from Ukshan. After this incident, Ukshan remains on the table, while Torihada and Shiro go to the upper floors until they reach the infamous 7th floor, which is the most haunted.
ちょっと待って、俺も切れた。僕結構充電してきたんですけど。俺も今、ちょっと待って、つかます。ちょっと待って、めっちゃ音してるって。てかめっちゃ女の音したんですか？俺だけ？女性ですか？うわ、くっさ。ハエ飛んでる、ハエ。なんかまた死骸とかあるんですか？骨だ。うわ、何の骨？待って、また来たんすけど俺。足。おお。ちょっと待って。めっちゃ触られた感覚、あったかい感覚が今また。シロさんやばいっすよ。うわ、ちょっと待って。なんとかなってるな。いや、ちょっと待って、骨だらけだな。ほら。うわ、ほんまや。うわ、なんかなってる。反応してるまた。なんなんこれ。ちょっと俺右、なんかなってるな。この部屋やばいっす。こめかみ痛くなってきた。ちょっとこれ、うわ、またなってる。これブラックライトあります？そうっすね、一回やってみましょうか。待って。どうしたんですか？電気消えました。そうです、電気持ってないんですか？いや、さっき消えちゃって、これ。なんかないですか、つけれるもの。めっちゃ怖いんですけど。ちょっとカメラ貸してもらっていいですか？はい。ナイトショットなんで、見えな。ちょっと待って。なんで消えたのこれ。うわ、ちょっと待って。めっちゃ触られた。ちょっと待ってください。ちょっと待って。どこ行きます？シロさん行きましょう。ちょっと早く行きましょう。うわ、ちょっと待って。痛い。シロさん、一回ちょっとこっち来れます？来てください。見えん方向から腕下がってます。いや、やばい。電気ないですか？ちょっとそれ、ちょっといけるんで、ちょっとしてもらっていいですか？いや、ちょっと早く降りましょう。映ってます。なんですか？いや、僕、右腕触られたんですよ。シロさん、どこいました？触られたっす。がっつり。どっちがいました、シロさん。こっち。やりましょう。僕、右側が触られたんですよ、上からです。
When they're on the 7th floor, inexplicable phenomena occur minute by minute. They hear mysterious sounds. Both of their flashlights die simultaneously. They enter one of the rooms where something even more extraordinary is happening. Both light sources from Shiro and Torihada's camera die at the same time. They have no way out and switch to night mode when Torihada is touched, terrifying him to the point that he flees from the room to the stairwell. In the camera footage, we see a blurry shadow of a hand approaching him. But I must ask that famous question, did you see it? Indeed, without some enhancement of the recording, we won't notice anything. But when we do, we'll notice that someone else was in the room besides Shiro and Torihada. On the left side, we can barely discern a female figure dressed in a red dress. Was it the spirit responsible for all the equipment malfunctions? Did it manifest after drawing energy from their devices? What truly scared Ukchan's son? Was it a real ghost captured on camera in the haunted hospital? Or is the explanation for all these phenomena simpler than we think? Well, folks, make your decision wisely. Certainly, Casey and Colton choose wisely when they headed to New Orleans in Louisiana, where allegedly a haunted plantation resides. The building is usually rented out for various events, be it weddings or parties. However, what people experience inside is far from ordinary. Phantom voices, knocks, and footsteps. On numerous occasions, someone has been touched and a mysterious woman's figure wandering the estate has been observed. All of this prompted Casey and Colton to rent the place for themselves for the entire night. Shortly after arriving at the location, they had high hopes that this night might be associated with incredible activity, as a thunderstorm raged outside. As many of you may know, storms are linked with heightened energy that helps spirits manifest their presence. Upon entering, they began their investigation. They started taking Polaroid pictures wherever possible, hoping to capture something.
Let's see, we got lights in here? Or are we just gonna have to use a flashlight? Here, lay them out, let's see what we got. Just right here. Just like put them all in like a grid so we can check them out. Let's see. Which one's that? Okay, that's one of the bedrooms. Bro, is there a crow in that room?
What?
Look, that right there, is that a crow? What the f is that?
Maybe something on the mantle?
Hang on, let me look at this closer. We gotta go see what's on the mantle in there.
No.
Oh. Hello?
Hello?
Is there somebody there?
When the men check the photos taken, someone moves around the second floor. They both hear distinct footsteps on the floor. They are both terrified because moments earlier they had gone through every room and are completely sure they are alone. They decide to find out who it was, but they fail to find anyone. Minutes pass in the investigation. They try to communicate through a yes or no prism.
You can move things, you obviously are pretty intelligent, you know how to operate this device here. Are you going to continue to communicate with us?
So yeah, it's gonna
Well,
continue.
thank you. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. This is Casey, I'm Colton.
We're not here. That scared the out of me, bro. What time is it?
Once we got a couple of answers on the yes-no prism, the silence was interrupted by a phone ringing.
No.
Do you think maybe that's the owners? Why would they be calling this late? Dude, it's 1 a.m. right now. Hello? Hello? There's nobody.
You hear anything?
No, they just hung up. There was nothing. It's like complete silence. Was that you that just made the phone ring? We couldn't hear anybody talking. If that was you, can...
Yes.
It says yes. Can you do it again, please? And maybe this time you could say something?
I think that it's honestly just messing with us, man. Like I mean, it startled me, but I've not felt like any, like, I mean, I was a little anxious upstairs, but it could be two completely different things.
Yeah.
What are the chances that whatever's down here try to bring us downstairs? Because
It's doing it again, bro. It just said yes. Yeah, bro. It just said that it made the phone ring. Here? No, bro. Come here. Hello?
What?
Hello? Bro, what is that? Listen. Hello?
What the f was that?
I don't know, dude.
During an attempt to make contact, a rather unusual situation occurs. Suddenly, the sound of a ringing phone echoes. It unsettles them. It's late at night. Who could it be? Nevertheless, Casey answers the phone. Unfortunately, there's a grave silence on the other end. Nothing but that. A few minutes pass. Casey asks the question, "Was it you who called?" The answer is affirmative. Then he asks another, "Will you do it again?" Again, affirmative. But what scared them the most is that the phone actually starts ringing. Once again, Casey picks up the receiver, only this time, instead of silence, he heard ominous breathing. Not wanting to prolong this any further, he hangs up. Casey and Colton continue the investigation for a few more minutes before deciding to go to sleep for a few hours. Unexpectedly, something wakes up Colton. It turns out to be a motion sensor. Awoken, Colton gets up and starts recording.
Not this shit again.
Walking through a haunted location alone at night is one of the most unsettling feelings that you can possibly imagine. I even looked in Casey's room and I saw that he was knocked out.
Dude. Yo. Dude, there's something moving upstairs.
Colton walks through more rooms, reaches the stairs, where he notices something unsettling. On the second floor, he sees a moving shadow on the wall. He immediately wakes up Casey, and they go to check it out together. But they find nothing. So, during their stay at the haunted plantation, did they manage to communicate over the phone with the spirit of someone who died on that land? What was the mysterious shadow captured by Colton? We may never know the truth. But surely we know that the popular YouTubers Kevin and Alexis ventured to the cemetery, avoided by many and even called cursed. Just like in the case of the Kuro crew, stories circulate around the cemetery about a mysterious dark figure, which follows the people visiting this place. Hearing these and other stories, Kevin and Alexis visited this location. During their tour of the quite extensive area, they frequently heard strange sounds and caught sight of a strange dark figure out of the corner of their eye.
Hola. Buenas noches. A ver, vamos un poco hacia acá. ¡Ah! ¡Ay, la mano! Güey, acaba de pasar alguien ahí, güey. No mames, allá se ve una persona, güey. Allá al fondo, güey. Ahí al fondo, ahí entre esas dos tumbas. Ahí se vio que alguien pasó, güey. No mames. ¿No lo viste tú?
During their tour, they both heard a strange male voice, and shortly after that, a specific dark figure ran between the tombstones. They headed in that direction. However, apart from further sounds, they found no one among the graves. So, they had no choice but to continue further into the cemetery.
Ah, caray. Sí está bien tétrica, güey. Está como contorsionada, güey. Sí, güey. ¿Sabes qué? Como que ya dejó de llover, güey. Ya casi no está lloviznando. ¡No mames! ¡Hala! ¿Qué pedo? ¡A la madre! ¡No mames, güey! ¡No mames! ¿Qué? ¡No mames! Acabo de ver a alguien allá, al fondo, güey. Seas mamón. Te lo juro que acabo de ver a alguien allá al fondo, güey.
Once again, they managed to capture a dark figure. The silhouette seemed to peek out from around the corner, and as soon as it was noticed, it quickly disappeared into the depths of the cemetery. The men once again headed to the spot where they saw the phenomenon, but unfortunately, whatever it was no longer there. They continued on, but constantly felt like someone was following them.
Ah, no. Creí que era como una fogata. Ay, otra vez. Que esos gritos no son para nada normales, güey. ¡La madre, güey! ¿Qué onda con eso? Volvió a pasar una persona allá al fondo, güey. Rápido, güey. Pero como sin nada, güey. Pero moviéndose bien extraño, güey. No chingues. Te lo juro, te lo juro.
This time, a figure darted between the graves. One could even say it crawled on all fours. But what was that? A person, or perhaps that legendary figure everyone in this area has heard about. It cannot be forgotten that this could be just a well-prepared hoax. But the choice is not quite mine, but yours. A much more probable and credible recording than a figure running on all fours are recordings from the TikTok user Magical Poltergeist, whose channel is entirely devoted to poltergeist activity in his home. In the first recording, we see an alleged orb, which can easily be explained as dust or an insect. After the cut, we have a scene where a rocking chair starts moving spontaneously. Next were the table and pillows. Interestingly, throughout this time, the chair never stops rocking. Another night, and further disturbing events are captured. Opening and closing refrigerator doors, trash bin, cabinets, everything was captured on tape. Was it a mischievous poltergeist? Possibly. But how far can such an entity go?
Oh, what the f***? Like, do something in here. Did you take the trash out? What the f***, baby? The lights are f***ing flickering now, dude. Baby, stop! What the f***?
A woman is awakened by an unpleasant smell that is unbearable. After a moment, the lights start flickering, and the cross behind her turns around. Was it the work of a poltergeist, or are we dealing with something more powerful and darker? Possibly a less eerie phenomenon was captured by Ricky during his live broadcast as he records something in the nearby building.
Prefiero lo real y no es.
Just before his camera, a dark figure passes by the window. Most strangely, Ricky doesn't notice this figure, even though it's quite distinct. Could it be a hoax? Who knows? We know for sure that while filming TikTok, 3 girls experienced a rather interesting phenomenon.
Nos mete a todas, pero al día siguiente ya está muy bien con su esposo y nosotros quedamos como pendejas. A ver, perra, vas a ver. Aquí hay una persona que su mamá tiene conectado su WhatsApp en su celular para leer sus conversas. ¿Qué pedo? Ok. Aquí hay una persona... Aquí hay una persona... ¿Qué pedo? Aquí hay una persona... Ay.
It was at this moment that Franklin knew. He fucked up.
No mames. ¿Qué creen que estamos invocando a alguien, güey?
We know for sure that not only George and Liz experienced flashing lights. Also, during this recording, we could witness it. But was it something paranormal? A faulty bulb, or perhaps someone standing next to the switch? One thing we know for sure, the next recording is one of the more credible ones. Yaya is a YouTuber traveling mainly in Asia and the US. Mostly on her channel, we find content related to food and exploring various attractions. We won't find any recordings of ghosts and the like there. The exception is literally one recording from 2020, where Yaya stayed overnight in a supposedly haunted house in Jakarta. Interestingly, during her stay at the estate, no paranormal phenomena occurred. But after a few weeks, she accidentally discovered something truly terrifying.
一直到上礼拜，我哥突然间问我有没有这栋房子的照片或者影片，于是我翻开硬碟机，影片一个一个看。结果我看到一个令我惊愕的恐怖画面。那个时候相机是往后远拍，然后没有在刻意拍什么东西，只是在移动中。但是当我把画面停在这里时，我突然间觉得有一个东西在看我。当时后院真的是完全乌漆嘛黑，没有灯，我是用手机的 flashlight 去找，于是我把画面调亮。我拍到一个很像女人坐在树上的画面，
At first glance, there's nothing characteristic that stands out in the recording. Just like in Kuro's case, it's only after brightening and enhancing that a figure of a woman sitting in a tree is revealed to our eyes. Is this a real ghost captured in a haunted estate? You guys decide. Meanwhile, team from Brazil captured a supposed ghost. Is it a ghost or perhaps CGI? Real or fake? You guys decide.